As
This
of now,
conference will now be
we have
recorded.
added the conditions by using the where class by hard coding these values. Like I'm hard coding that is the deleted field value equals to true, and then somewhere we are hard coding the values industry equals to banking. Like that, we are hard coding the values here. But sometimes I don't want to hard code these values. I would like to make these values dynamic. Dynamically at runtime, I would like to supply these values for these conditions. How to supply the values for this where class at runtime? Now let's see practically in this case. Okay, now. So now make a note here. We can supply the values for the where class at runtime so that we can build the conditions. We can build the conditions and filter the records. How can we add this where class? By passing the values at runtime. Now let's see. The syntax is we can specify the SOQL query and we can specify the where column name, and then we can specify the equality operator and the colon symbol. Colon is representing the dynamic assignment, and then we can specify the variable name. Based on that, we can able to apply the conditions. Where column name equals to, we can specify the colon represents this is a dynamic, nothing but dynamically we are assigning some value. What is that value? The value is there inside the variable or parameter. This parameter value I would like to represent in this place so that we can form the condition at runtime and we can validate the data by using that where class. Okay, now let's see how can we fetch the data from the object. Okay, by passing the parameters at runtime. By using the parameters we can able to prepare the conditions at runtime and we can validate the data by using where class. How can we do that? We'll see practically now. Okay, now for example, as of now I'm collecting the data from my account object, and then I'm going to be getting the data based on that industry, okay, by passing the value as banking. If I'm executing this query first time, it will get that same banking records. If I'm executing the query second time, same records it will produce. If I'm executing the query at the 10th time, same records it will produce, because always the same conditions are applied. But I don't want to pass this value. I don't want to make this value hard coded. This value I want to pass at runtime. If I'm passing the value finance, it has to return that finance industry account. If I'm passing the value education, it has to return the education related accounts. If I'm passing the value energy, that value, that records has to be get returned. That means I want to make my method generic. Okay, I want to write that query only once, then I will pass that values at runtime. Depends upon the values which are supplied, query will be returning some different results to you. Okay, so that I want to write the code only once and I want to reuse that code multiple times by passing the different values to generate a different result sets. Okay, so for that reason here I would like to pass the values at runtime, so that when you go to that implementation, don't hard code the values, try to pass the value at runtime always. Okay, as a best practice, avoid the hard coded conditions always. Okay, make it as dynamic. Okay, now so in this case, how can we fetch the data? Now let's see practically. Now, so let's take a small use case. Write an Apex program to get The case records from the object based on the specified status value, based on the specified status value. I will pass that status value at runtime. It may be because new, it may be working, it may be escalated, it may be closed, whatever. I will pass the value at runtime. Depends upon the value which are supplied, the respective case records has to be get written. Done? Now. So now tell me, how can we write this piece of code? Now, how to pass that parameters at runtime? Now let's see practically here. Previously, in the last session, we have discussed how to pass the limit value and offset value. How can we replace that particular values in the specific location we have discussed? Like the similar way, we are passing that value for the where class also. Okay. Now, I'm preparing a method here. Public static void get cases by status. I want to get the case records based on that status field. I'm indicating the status value. I'm indicating case status. I'm passing a parameter with the name case status. So whatever the status value that I'm supplying at runtime to my parameter, based on that status value, I need to get the respective case records from my object. Now, so now whenever I'm going to be writing the code, what we need to do first? Then what we need to do? First of all, we need to verify whether this parameter is having the value or not. Okay. Now I'm validating this one. If case status not equals to null and case status not equals to empty. That means whatever the value we have supplied for the parameter, if this parameter value is not null and not empty, then only I would like to get the case records. So now here I'm using that list collection, list of case, LST cases. I'm fetching the data. Select the ID of the case, case number, status of the case, priority, origin, type, reason. From the case object, where what we can do now? Status equals to directly we can specify. Can I write like this? Column. Okay, we have to specify that column. So in this case, whatever the case status parameter value is there, I'm going to be comparing that value with that status field of my case record. Now, so now once the condition has been getting applied, it will be collecting the required records to me. So that I would like to show how many number of cases have been returned. So that I'm using system.debug case collection. Size is, I want to show the case collection size. LST cases dot size. I want to show each and every case record. For each and every case record, CS from LST cases. I want to show the case record. Okay, I'm displaying that case record. So simply I'm going to be collecting that parameter value. That parameter value I'm going to be replacing inside my condition, so that we can able to farm the condition dynamically at runtime, and then we can fetch the required records and we can store inside the collection. Once the data has been stored inside the collection, then I'm going to be displaying the collection size by using the size method, and we can represent every record available inside the collection by iterating that collection from starting to ending by using that enhanced for loop. Done? Now. So let me execute this method. I'm calling the method get cases by status. I'm passing the status value. I'm passing the status as new. If I'm passing the status value as new, then whatever the cases are available whose status is equals to new, only those cases it has to display to me here. So click on execute button. It has to display only those new cases whose status is equals to new. Select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating we are having four cases are available whose status is equals to new. When you observe these cases, you will be having that status equals to new. For these four cases, we are having the status value is equals to new. Okay, clear? Now, for example, I'm passing this value as working. Okay, working. What are the cases currently we are working on? I want only those cases. Now click on execute. It will collect only those cases whose status value is equals to working. Select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating three cases are available whose status is equals to working. For example, I'm passing the value as closed. So whatever the cases are available whose status is equals to closed, only those cases will be getting visible to you. Select the debug only checkbox. Now we are having 20 cases are available whose status is equals to closed. These are the various case records are available whose status is equals to closed. So that we can able to write that method only once. We can write that query only once, but we can able to use that query for the multiple purposes. So that by passing some different values, we can able to get that respective records from your object by using that parameters. Okay, just we can able to define a parameter. That parameter value we can able to place inside your query inside the where class here by using the dynamic assignment. So if we want to pass multiple conditions, you can supply. For example, I want to get based on the case status and the case priority both. So I'm indicating that string case priority. Now here we can specify status and priority equals to case priority. Case priority. That's it.
And here the case status is new and new and working.
Both we can't fetch. Both it won't fetch at a time here. Okay. Now at that time, different class. That is in operator. Okay, that is the next one. If you want to get that multiple industry accounts also, if you want to get some multiple the status cases also, then we can go with a different condition. Okay. Clear? Clear? No. So let's make a note over here. So make a small requirement. Write an Apex class. Write an Apex class to fetch the lead records based on the specified industry. Based on the specified industry and annual revenue. Okay. Based on the specified industry and annual revenue. Okay. How can we write the code for this one? How many parameters we need to supply now? 2 parameters. Both will be of same type or different type. One is of type string, second one is of type decimal. Okay, because in the annual revenue means it is a currency field, so purely decimal type. So we have to supply decimal parameter. 2 parameters we need to supply based on that industry, based on that annual revenue, we can able to fetch the data. Okay, now and arrange the records based on the annual revenue in descending order. And arrange the records based on the annual revenue in descending order. Clear? Now, let's see how can we implement this one. Or will you try this one? Will you try? Okay. So let's take one more use case. Write an Apex class to fetch the user records based on the specified username. Based on the specified username. Based on the specified username.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Done with the code? Now. So based on what condition you have applied here? Username. Username you have to supply in the form of what? Email ID. Username should be in the form of email ID here. Okay. Next one. So now we'll see one more operator here. In operator. In operator. So what is this in operator basically? Now let me explain. For example, assume that I want to fetch the account records. Okay, I want to fetch the account records based on industry banking. Okay, based on industry banking. That means I want only the banking account records. Now tell me how can we write the condition? Okay, we can specify where industry equals to banking. Right. Okay. Whenever I'm writing the condition where industry equals to banking, it will collect all the banking industry account records and those will be getting returns to you. Sometimes I want banking industry accounts and energy industry accounts also, both. Okay. I want both. What we can do? I want banking industry accounts as well as energy industry accounts. For example, with the industry banking, I'm having 5 records. With the industry energy, I'm having 2 records. Total 7 records I want here. What we can do in this case? Not required. Inner query is for to fetch only the child records. Then what we can do? R condition, right? R. Industry equals to energy. That means what in this case I'm specifying where industry equals to banking or industry equals to energy. That means if any of this condition is satisfied, then get that record here. I'm adding that condition. Okay. So that here I'm adding 2 conditions over here where industry equals to banking or industry equals to energy. For example, I want banking industry records, energy industry records, and finance industry records also. How? One more R condition. R industry. Industry equals to finance. Okay. That means what?
If you want, with the help of or operator, we can fetch banking or energy.
Banking or
energy. But we want both.
Both in the sense. So now in this case, it will be returning both. Okay. In banking industry accounts, energy industry account, finance industry account, all the records it will return now. Suppose if I am using end condition, then what will happen? Now tell me how many records it will return. 0. Okay, 0 records because with the industry, okay, now for an account record, industry value will be only 1. But I'm checking for the 3 condition. Industry equals to banking and energy and finance. Because the record can have only 1 industry, not all. So that here I'm using that R condition. Okay, R condition. So that in this case, what will happen? It will verify, collect each and every record in that account record to verify the industry value. If it is okay, come satisfying with any one of this one, it returns that record. Second record, it will collect, it will verify the industry value. If it is available inside this any one of this, it will return those records. So that all these records will be getting returned. For example, assume that I want banking industry accounts, energy industry accounts, finance industry accounts, and education industry accounts also. Then what we can do? One more R condition. we have to specify the industry. Industry equals to education. That means what? In order to get that 4 industry accounts, okay, 4 industry records, like as banking industry records and energy industry records, finance industry records, and education industry records, I'm adding 4 conditions where industry equals to banking, industry equals to energy, industry equals to finance, industry equals to education. So in this case, if you want to fetch the data from the 10 industries, at that time, everywhere we have to write 10 conditions here. Industry equals to, industry equals to, industry equals to, like that, which will be occupying some more number of characters. Do we have any chance to reduce this one? In this case, what we can do? Now, in this case, what are the values that we are passing over here? These values, I would like to make it separate. In this case, whenever if you want to compare with the multiple condition, multiple values, that means industry field value I'm comparing with the multiple values with the banking, energy, finance, education. In this case, if you want to compare a field value with a collection of elements, then we can use the help of in operator. We can use the help of in operator. By using this in operator, we can able to compare a field value with a collection of elements. Okay, with collection of elements. Now, in this case, what we can do is the same condition I would like to write like this. Now, in this case, I'm optimizing this one where industry in. Now, what are those industry names here? Banking, comma, energy, comma, finance, comma, education, like that. So now tell me, so now will it be occupying more characters? Will it be occupying more characters here? The first one will be occupying more number of characters over here. Here we are going to reducing, because here everywhere we have specified industry equals to, industry equals to, industry equals to. We can able to reduce this part over here. Okay, we can able to reduce this part. Simply we can able to collect all these values over here. But here no need to specify the R. Simply we can specify that comma. That means what? If the account records industry value is available in any one of this particular value, then it will be returning that record automatically to you. Okay, whatever the account record is available, if the account records industry field value is satisfying with any one of this value, it will be returning those records to you automatically. So that we can get the banking industry records, finance industry records, energy industry records, and education industry records also. All these are 4 industry records we can able to collect over here. Okay, clear? So that by using this in operator, we are comparing this industry field value with a collection of elements. Now, sometimes, okay, sometimes if the number of industry names are more, then what we can do? Do I need to write all these things inside this, like as comma, like that? We need to write all these things. For that one, what I want to do is, I would like to store all these industry names inside a separate array. Okay, we can define an array also. I would like to use a separate array. Inside that array also, I would like to store this. Okay, multiple format. Let me explain here. I'm defining an array over here. String array. Industry names equals to new string array. Here I'm placing all these strings. All these industry names I'm placing inside this. Now tell me, how can we write this condition? Where industry in. Okay, where industry in, specify the colon and then specify the variable name industry. That's it. This is also one way. Okay, so now we can able to write like this also, and we can able to write like this also. If I'm writing like this, suppose if the same array is required in different place, directly we can access the array by using that array name. Suppose if I'm writing like this here in this format, then if you want to use the same kind of condition somewhere, we have to write that condition again over here, which will be occupying some more number of characters. For that one, store all these values inside a separate array or a collection also. It may be listed collection also, we can able to store. For example, the same elements I want to store inside a list collection. List of string. I would like to specify industry. Industry collection equals to new list of string. I would like to specify here. Here I'm passing these values. Here I'm passing these values. I'm passing this values inside my listed collection. Once the elements are available, I would like to supply. How can we add the condition now? Where industry in colon industry collection. That's it. Okay. So that here now we can able to fetch the data from the database object also by making some SOQL query, store inside a collection. That collection directly we can pass to my where condition by using the in operator here. That is also possible. Depends upon your requirement here. Okay. So now in this case, what happened? As of now, we have compared that variable value, field value with only one element here. But now, sometimes I want to compare this field value with the multiple elements. At that time, we are using the help of in operator. By using that in operator, we can able to compare a field value with the multiple elements or the multiple collection of elements also at a time. So at that time, we can able to specify that collection of elements hard coded also. We can store inside an array also. We can store inside the collection also. Those collection names and the array names I'm specifying inside my where class. Okay, clear? Now, let's make a note of this one. In operator. By using this feature, we can compare a field value with a collection of elements. With a collection of elements. If the field value is matching with any of the element in the collection, then it will return the record from the object. If the field value is matching with any of the element in the collection, then it will be returning that record from the object. Syntax. We can specify. Now in this case, this in operator. In operator should be always used along with the where class. That is the fundamental principle. In operator should be always used along with the where class. Syntax. Where column name in, we can specify the values. Value 1, value 2, like that, value n. Here's the first syntax. And the second syntax. I'm preparing that. String array. Array name equals to new string array. I'm storing these values. And we can compare where column name in that array. That is the second format. The third format is list collection. List of data type, collection name equals to new list of data type elements. And then we can specify where column name in colon collection. These are the three syntaxes we can use, any one of these. Okay, column name. Done. Shall we go with the practical part? Yeah. So let's take a small use case. Write an Apex program to fetch all the accounts associated with banking, finance, energy industries. Write an Apex program to fetch all the accounts associated with banking, finance, energy industries. So whatever the account records are available, whose industry is equals to either banking or finance or energy, all those records I would like to fetch. So now let's see how can we fetch this information. Done with this use case? No. So let's see the practical part. I'm preparing the method with the name get accounts by industries. I'm placing all the industry names inside my string array. Because string array industry names equals to new string. I'm placing that. It has banking, finance, energy. So these are the three industry names I have specified. Okay, with these industries, whatever the account records are available, I want to collect all those account records. I want to display those here. So I'm indicating for loop. In this one, I'm specifying the SOQL query. Select the ID of the account, name, rating value, industry, annual revenue, active status from account. What is the condition now? Where industry in colon industry names. Right. Okay. So now here I'm preparing that for loop. Within the for loop itself, I'm writing that SOQL query here. Now it is returning the collection of account records. I'm fetching each and every account record by using that ACC variable. Now I want to show those records. I want to show those account records. So whatever the account records are available, whose industry equals to either banking or finance or energy, all those records I'm collecting by using this aware class. Done? Okay. So let me execute this piece of code. Before that, let me verify how many records are available here. Now, so totally I'm having the 35 records are available here. I'm displaying all the records now. Based on that industry, I'm going to be sorting out the records. Now with the industry, so now let me count. So now with the industry banking, one record, and then second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, and then energy, 1, 2, 3. So totally 10 records as of now. Finance, 1, 2, 3, 13. Totally 13 records I'm expecting here, okay, from my result set. So now let me execute this piece of code. Okay, now, so let me execute this piece of code. I'm invoking the method get industries, get accounts by industries. Now click on execute button. It has to return all those records whose industry is matching with either industry and then banking, finance, and then energy. Now select the debug only. Now it is returning the records here. How many records? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay. All the 13 records have been getting returned. So now whatever the account records are available, whose industry equals to finance and banking and energy, all these records we can able to fetch. Suppose if you want to see that count, simply we can go to that debug log file. At the end of the debug log file, we can able to see how many number of records are available. We can able to see over here. Now it has written that 13 records out of 50,000. Okay, clear? Clear? Next one. So now, for example, here, assume that I have a requirement here. Okay, I have a requirement. So my requirement is like this. Okay, let me explain the requirement over here. I'm having some account records, and along with that, I'm having some contact records also available with me. Okay, so let me explain that requirement. So I'm having the account records, like some account 1, second account record, account 2, account 3, account 4, and account 5. So these are the 5 account records I'm having right now. Now this account record 1 is belongs to banking. It is having that banking industry. So this is also having that banking industry. Now this is related to energy. This is related to finance. And this is that banking account. Okay. So now we are having totally 5 account records are available here. From these 5 account records, 3 account records are having the industry bank. Okay. Now For this account records, I'm having some related contacts are available. Now for this account record, I'm having 7 related contacts are available. Now for this account, I'm having 4 related contacts are available. For this one, 2 related contacts. For this one, 1 related contact is there. For this one, 10 related contacts are available. These are the contacts count. Okay, contacts count. Okay, I'm having that account records are available. For this account records, I'm having the related contact records also available. Now, my requirement is I want to get only those contact records which are related to the banking industry accounts. That is my requirement. I want only those contact records whose accounts industry value equals to banking. That's it. Then how can we do this? Now tell me, how can we do this one? I want to get the data here from where contact object. Okay, now observe the scenario here. I want to get only those contacts whose accounts industry is equals to banking. That means what? I know some input. What is our value banking? What is this value banking industry? Okay, industry value, I know that. What is that banking? But what we are expecting, I'm not expecting the account records, I'm expecting the contact records. I want the contact records. Okay, I want the contact records. Now tell me how can we do this? Tell me your approach in this case. How can we do this one? Any suggestion?
Association.
Association is there. Between account and contact, we have the relation. That is lookup. Then.
So for that, we create the contact object.
Contact object is there already. Okay. Relation is also there. Records are also available. Now I want the contacts. I want the contact records of only banking accounts. Now tell me, anyone. Try. In contact object, we don't have any industry field. Industry field is there inside your account object. That means the input which we know that is an account, but the output which I'm expecting from the contact. Account ID should be pass, okay? How can we get these accounts here? Then account ID
is not equal to null.
okay. Then it will be returning all the contacts which are related to some different accounts. But I don't want all the contacts. I want only those contact records which are belongs to the banking industries. Now I want the contacts. Now this is banking industry contact. This is also banking industry contact. This is also banking industry. So totally here I want 21 contact records. Okay. Right. In this case, what needs to be done? Now here we know the input. What is the input? Industry equals to bank. Now this industry field is available where? Inside my account object. But the output what I'm expecting is from contact object. But between account and contact, do we have the relation is available or not? Yes, there is a relation is available. Now, if you want to get the related contact, then what we need to get? We need to get the account ID first. Based on the account ID only, we can able to fetch the related contact records. To get the account ID, first of all, I need to write one SOQL query. We need to write one SOQL query to get the IDs of those account records based on the condition industry equals to banking. So that I would like to write one SOQL query first. So I'm writing one SOQL query on my account object, which will be collecting all the account record IDs whose industry equals to banking. So this account is having some record over here. It is having some ID like some 001461. This account is having the ID 001781. This account is having the ID 001611. Assume that these are the three account record IDs are available here. Whose industry value is equals to banking. This is the industry banking, this is also banking, this is also banking. I want only the banking accounts contact records. For that one, first of all, get only those account record IDs whose industry equals to banking. So that I am writing one SOQL query here. Now, I am preparing an SOQL query. I am writing an SOQL query. We now need to fetch only those account record IDs whose industry equals to bank. So I am writing that query. Select ID of the account record. I don't want names and remaining columns here. I want to apply the condition based on industry. So for that one, I am specifying industry from account, where industry equals to banking. I am collecting only those account records information whose industry equals to banking over here. Now this query will be returning that banking account records information. From that one, what we need only IDs. Because to collect the related contacts, what we require? Only that account record ID is sufficient. Now tell me how can we write this one? If we got this IDs, then based on the ID, we can write one more SOQL query to get the related contact records from the object. So the two SOQL queries I'm writing right now. One is to get the IDs of those account records based on the industry banking, and once the account record IDs have been getting collected, based on this account record IDs, I would like to go to the contact object to get the related contact records from this object. Okay? Clear? Now tell me here, how can we implement this one?
Create a list for the account IDs.
Okay. Map for
Contact.
why map for contact? Okay, based on IDs we are printing that right now. Now tell me the code here. Now tell me the code. Tell me that code now. Because these kind of requirements are very, very common. That's what. I need to fetch that account record IDs only. I don't want that complete account record details. Based on that account record ID, I can collect that respective contact record from my contact object. Now tell me what we can do. I want only those account record IDs whose industry equals to banking. So now in this case, can I use that map collection? Can I use map? If I'm using a map collection, in that map collection, I want to collect only those account record IDs whose industry equals to banking. Once the records have been getting collected, storing inside the map collection. If you want only IDs, you can get by using that key set method. Okay. So for that one here, I'm using that map collection. I'm using a map collection. Map of ID, comma, account. See, depends upon the requirement, we have to decide whether we can go with the list or map. Now, here I'm using that. Map account equals to new map of ID, comma. Here I am going to be writing the SOQL query. Write the SOQL query, select the ID value and the industry from account where industry value equals to bank. Okay, where industry equals to bank. Now in this case, once the query has been getting executed, it will collect only those account record details whose industry value equals to bank. Those records will be storing inside the map collection. But what I want to collect? Contacts, related contacts. To get the contact, what we need? Account ID. Where is that account ID? Inside the map. Where it is available? Inside my keys. So that directly we can able to collect that. Now in this case, whenever I'm fetching that account records information based on industry banking, in my account object, you may not be having any records with the industry banking also. In this case, what needs to be done before executing one more SOQL query, I want to verify whether the account records are available or not. With the industry banking, Do we have the account records are available or not? For that one, I verify the condition. If map account is not empty, okay? If the collection is not empty, then what needs to be done now? Write the query on contact object here. How can we write that query? Select ID of the contact record, specify the required columns. Along with that, we are going to be adding the column called as account ID, because based on the account ID only we can fit the respective contact records from contact object. Now, what is the condition now? Where account ID in, because not only one account record ID, here we are having multiple account record IDs are available, so that I am using that in operator. In this in operator, what we need to specify? I need to place only that account record IDs. How can we get only the ID values here? By using map collection dot key set method. That's it. Here we can specify map accounts dot. That's it. Which will be returning the list of contacts. Okay. Two SOQL queries we are using right now over here. So now first SOQL query, I am collecting only those account record IDs whose industry value is equals to banking. Once account record IDs have been getting stored inside my map collection, then based on that map of collection records, I would like to collect the respective contact records from my contact object by using that in operator. Because with the industry banking, 20 accounts are available. With the 20 IDs, I would like to compare. For that one, I am using that in operator. With the industry banking, 2 records are available. 2 record IDs I would like to compare. So that whenever if you want to compare a field value with multiple elements, we have to use that in operator here. Okay? Clear? Understood the concept here? Now, let's see this practical part now. Make a note of this use case. Now, take a small use case. So write an Apex program to fetch all the banking contacts. All the banking contacts. All the banking contacts. Okay. How can we fetch? Now let's see practically in this case. I'm preparing a method. Done with this use case. I'm preparing a method. Get banking contacts. Sometimes, if you want to make it as dynamic, sir, you have specified that industry equals to banking, you have hard coded. Sometimes I want only those contacts which are related to finance industry account. Then what we can do in this case here, we can able to make it dynamic here. Get contacts by industry. Here I will pass that industry name. Here will pass the industry name dynamically at runtime here. Based on that industry, respective contact record will be getting written to you. Now, first of all, I need to verify whether this parameter is having some value or not. Industry name not equals to null. Industry name not equals to empty. Okay. If the industry value, industry parameter value is not null and not empty, then only I would like to fetch the associated account records here. So I'm using that map collection. Map of ID comma account. Accounts map equals to new map of id comma account. Here I'm specifying that SOQL query. Select id of the account record, industry from account object where industry equals to industry name. Industry name. I'm passing this value. I want to know how many account records are available over here. I want to cross check that. For that, if you want to cross check that, you can able to write that system.debug statement. Accounts collection size is we can specify. Accounts map dot size. Now I want to get the related contacts here. I want to verify the condition. If the accounts map is not empty, if the collection is not empty, I would like to get the respective contacts. I'm writing that for loop directly. For each and every contact, select ID of that account record, contact record, first name of the contact record, last name, email, title, account ID from contact, where account ID n, I would like to specify accounts map dot key set. And then we can display the contact record. System.debug contact record is CVL. That's it. So whenever you require only the IDs, straightforward go with the map collections. Okay. Don't use the listed collection. Don't get the IDs separately by maintaining one more separate processing, one more separate collection. Straightforward go with the map collections. Okay. Done? Now, so let's see. For example, I'm passing that industry name as an energy. With the energy, how many accounts are available? Let me check. With the industry energy, I want to cross check that. How many industry account records are available? Here we are having only 3 accounts are available. These are the 3 accounts with the industry energy. Let me open each record one by one in a separate tab. Second record, third record. Now for this account, how many contacts are there? 4 contacts are available. For the second one, one contact is available. For the third one, 2 contacts. Totally how many? 7 contacts here. Okay. Now we need to fetch 7 contact records. Let me call this a method here. I'm passing the industry here, like some energy. Now click on execute. See the results. Select the debug only. Now 3 account records are available with the industry banking. Sorry, with the industry energy, we are having contact record 2, 4, 6, and 7. 7 contacts are available. For example, let me check with one more. So let me take that industry as some finance. With the industry finance, we are having how many records? 3 records are also available here also. Now for this one, how many contacts are there? Here is the first account record here, and here the second account, and here the third account. For this account, we are having how many contacts are available here? 7 contacts are available. Okay, totally 7 contact records are available for this account Edge Communication. Second account here, how many contacts? 0 contacts. Third account, how many contacts? 0. Totally 7. Now I'm passing that value finance. I'm passing that value finance. Click on execute. Let's see the results. Select the debug only. It is returning those records to you. With the industry finance, we are having 3 account records are available. For this one, we are having that 7 contact record, totally 7. Okay, so that here we can able to collect the required information also. But upon fetching the data, okay, if the input is on one separate object, output is from another object, then we can go with that 2 SOQL queries. When moving forward, we'll see how can we combine these 2 SOQL queries into a single one by using relationship queries concept. Okay. Clear? Clear? Now, so in the next session, we'll see one more class that is called as like operator. Okay, and then we'll see the concept of dynamic SOSL query, dynamic SOQL query. Okay, so next session will be on day after tomorrow. So tomorrow you don't have the session. Next session will be on 2nd, again the same time.